that's why I'm here tonight. Friends, I'm here tonight in this Parliament, this oldest Parliament in Australia, this Parliament of democracy, to join the call for democracy in Syria, the same as we have democracy in this country. Friends, tonight I'm here, most of all, to join in the call for the end of the dictatorship of Bashar Assad. The end of that dictatorship. Now, a few months ago, the Premier of New South Wales made me Parliamentary Secretary for Justice in New South Wales. And I take that seriously because I believe in justice and I believe in human rights and I believe in the rule of law. But today in Syria, there is no justice, there is no rule of law, there are no human rights.
That's fair.
To all of us here in Australia, when we talk about democracy, we mean one man, one vote. But over there in Syria, Assad believes he is the one man with the one vote. He is the one man with the one vote. And Bashar Assad is determined to keep it that way, but dear friends, the Syrian people are more determined to ensure that he doesn't keep it that way. Bashar Assad is determined to ensure that he gets rid of the last vestiges of freedom, but friends, the people of Syria are determined to ensure that they get rid of him. And now he's running scared. He's now making all sorts of promises. He's going to bring an end to the 30-year period, the 30-year period of emergency, the state of emergency. Can you imagine that? A state of emergency that goes on for 30 years. And now he's promising that there'll be a multiplicity of parties instead of just one party, the Ba'athist Party. He says one thing, but he delivers the opposite. He offers and gives to the people of Syria more oppression. That is the gift of the Assad family to the Syrian nation. The guns that he used to smuggle into other countries, into places like Lebanon, he now uses and turns on his own citizens. The weapons that he used, that they used to kill Rafiq Hariri in Lebanon, they now use to kill people like that 13-year-old boy. Remember that 13-year-old boy who was killed, but tortured for hour after hour before they put the final bullet into him. What sort of a man is it who allows that to happen to citizens of his own nation? And now he's getting help from Ahmadinejad in Iran. They're pals together. Ahmadinejad killed off hopes of freedom in Iran, and now he's working and conspiring together with his friend Assad to ensure that the hopes of freedom of the Syrian people are killed off as well. Instead of submitting to the will of Ahmadinejad, Assad should be submitting to the will of the Syrian people. The whole world condemns Assad. Amnesty International, the United Nations Committee on Human Rights, Canada, the United States, the European Union, Britain and France and Germany and Italy, Portugal and Spain and Norway and Sweden, more and more nations in Africa, nations in the Arab world, they're all joining together. In Australia, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Kevin Rudd, has condemned Bashar Assad. The opposition Minister for Foreign Affairs, Julie Bishop, from this very platform only a few weeks ago, she condemned the regime of Bashar Assad as well. And tonight, friends, we here in this free Parliament of the state of New South Wales, we condemn the dictatorship of Bashar Assad as well. A few minutes ago, we heard the stirring national anthems of two great nations. We heard the anthem of Australia, which plays in one of the newer nations of the world, and we heard the stirring anthem of Syria that represents one of the oldest civilizations in the world. Damascus, I think, is the oldest continually inhabited city in all of the world. But there are differences. The national anthem in Australia plays in a free nation, but the anthem of Syria plays in a dictatorship. But friends, that is going to change. That is going to change because freedom is coming to Syria. The age of dictatorship is coming to an end. The age of democracy is upon us. The Arab Spring is alive and well. It spread into Tunisia, it spread into Egypt, and it's coming and it's heading towards Syria as well. It's coming to Syria as well. And as each day passes, more and more people throughout Syria are taking to the streets. They're demonstrating, they're protesting. They're not going to take this suppression any longer. Those crowds are growing bigger. Those crowds are spreading all over Syria. They want democracy and human rights. They want freedom. And most of all, they want an end to the dictatorship of Bashar Assad. And friends, nothing can stop it, and nothing will stop it. That day is coming. That day is getting closer. Friends, that day will soon be here. Thank you.